All right, so we're here with Jeff and Greg from Nvidia Networking, and that's going to be my first question. I know as soon as you say who the players involved are, everybody's going to know who we're talking about. But for those of the audience who don't recognize who Nvidia Networking is, what are the names that the brands formerly were formerly known as?
Yes, so Nvidia networking really consists of two parts. One is the Mellanox technologies, well known for high performance networking, and then we also have Cumulus networks, well known for native Linux network subsystem with programmability and innovative solutions. So Nvidia networking basically is the combination of Mellanox and Cumulus.
I was going to say you could look at it from, two aspects like Jeff mentioned in terms of you got the hardware performance capability that Mellanox provides, and you've got the software intelligence from a Cumulus perspective. So you got the combination of two things that really build and make the NVIDIA networking solution what it is today. So it's a powerful combination.
What's going on in the space from an intelligence standpoint? What is NVIDIA networking bringing to the table?
Sure. So basically, if you look at the data center today, it's going through a paradigm shift, just because of the sheer volume of applications, the users, and also the amount of data you need to kind of process and store. So given that, we see three major trends in the data center. So basically, it's virtualization. You're going to see a lot of virtual machines, containers. So basically, you can run the application from anywhere. And then you see the scale out infrastructure, because given the sheer amount of applications and number of users and the data, you need to have a cluster of compute and storage to support that. And of course, you need networking to connect all these compute and storage servers. And the third trend is that really is a convergence. So basically, we're talking about having all sorts of applications, including AI, machine learning, big data analytics running on the platform. And you have what we call hyperconverged infrastructure. You have the computer storage on the same data center infrastructure. And then lastly, you see the convergence. You're talking about the data center integrated into clouds. So this means on-prem clouds, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. So with all that, so basically today we see data center as a new unit of compute. And here is where NVIDIA comes in. We provide a full stack end-to-end solution for today's modern data center.
All right, so what other trends are we seeing now? Obviously, one of the things you talked about was the importance of Cumulus as part of the solution. And so really, what does that bring to the table? How does that really change the landscape?
Sure. Cumulus, from a changing the landscape perspective, really gives the network operator kind of a different way of doing the same thing. They're still doing networking, but they're doing it in a way that is more efficient, leveraging things like automation to help make that happen by taking advantage of skill sets that are typically done in the server admin type role, but kind of morphing into more of the network administrator type responsibility. So there's a cultural shift that's taking place in this part of the IT staffing world, where taking advantage of automation tools, et cetera, to be able to build out and create configurations of their network infrastructure, and then also deploy using those same automation tools, is really where we're seeing the shift happen away from traditional ways of building out via CLI or other traditional methods of network infrastructure configuration. You're using automation to make that happen. It's much more efficient and much more scalable.
I just want to add a little bit to that. So, just like Craig said, Ethernet by default is the networking solution for data center. However, the traditional data center networking or Ethernet networking is probably not the fit well with today's workloads. So in today's workloads, as we talk about, you have the all kinds of workloads running on the same network, right? The databases, VDI, Office. You have AI, machine learning. You have big data analytics. Therefore, you need to have accelerated networking for your data center to run these applications. Plus, there's an integration with clouds. So what Craig just talked about is extremely important, that you can achieve cloud scale efficiency. So basically allow you to deploy very efficient, just like cloud, and deliver your service efficient, just like cloud, and manage monitoring your data center, just like cloud.
So one of the things that we do here is we try to keep up on trends, and sometimes that's keeping up on what the latest buzzwords are. So some of the things that you talked about kind of makes me think of what generally a lot of times will get talked about as software-defined networking. I've heard a new term in that space, configuration as code. So how is that fitting in? How does this tie together where, now as part of maybe that container definition or that virtual machine definition, what the network it lives on looks like as part of that configuration?
Yeah, so you're talking about it from a simulation perspective. How do I build out this network infrastructure in a way that I can take advantage of tools to do it ahead of my supply chain, for example? You got supply chain challenges these days that we're all experiencing. So how can I simulate my network environment prior to deployment? And the one way to do that with us is through Nvidia Air and what we call digital twin concept. So creating that infrastructure as code type of model where you're using automation tools, et cetera, to build out your configuration in our simulation platform, which is cloud hosted. It's available at air.nvidia.com. So anyone that wants to build out a network configuration using Cumulus and our as an operating system in our Spectrum platform can do so, and do it in a way that they can learn. So they can learn how to do it ahead of any kind of physical deployment. They can build a proof of concept, if you will, so they can validate the configuration in the platform, all in that day zero type planning phase. And then when it comes time to deploy, they're to be able to do that seamlessly by taking that config they built in the Air platform and applying it to that physical infrastructure. So that's part of that operational efficiency that we talk about, to be able to take advantage and then roll that into production.
All right. So by the way, those keeping track at home, you can check off, somebody said digital twin.
Absolutely. And what's incredible about that is that you can build out the entire network in our simulation platform, hundreds of switches, all built to your custom configuration, and then take that template and apply it to the physical world, which is a powerful thing.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for your time. So I went into this expecting to hear about how NVIDIA networking was the backbone to the AI ML data center. And you brought us a new view on it and saying, hey, no, the intelligence is in the product itself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.